So we're glad you're with us today. And we hope you enjoy our coverage of Case Western Reserve football on a chilly day from Cleveland, Ohio. Mormon puts the foot into it. Calabrese will take it at his own 10. Middle of the field, angles to the near hash mark, cuts it up to the 30, gets out close to the 34-yard line. He is tackled right there. Getting in on the defensive coverage for WashU was Greg Komenar, the 5'10 freshman out of Sherman Oaks, California. Here come the Case Spartans on offense, led by Joey Baum. Baum completing 65.6% of his passes on the season so far. Case will have it 1st and 10 at the 35 after a 25-yard return by Dan Calabrese. And the first play is on the ground as they hand it off. And it was Bill Deitman getting the first carry on Case's first play of the day. He hits the line and loses a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11. No score first quarter here at Case Field. Case in their home blue uniforms with the white helmets and the white trim. White numerals on the front and the backs of the jerseys. They'll hand it off to Deitman again. Makes his way upfield, still on his feet, and finally is tripped up as he gets to the 38-yard line. Pick up a 4 for Deitman, and the Spartans are looking at a 3rd and 7.
Well, Debs mentioned that they're going to need to run the football. First play was an inside handoff. Second play is an inside shovel pass, trying to go up the middle on that WashU defense. And on top of that, Case again will play their 3rd straight game without starting left guard Tony Opperman. He's out. Jake Abbott, the freshman, will take his place in the front 5.
Opperman did not play last week at Chicago, not in action today. Baum to throw it. Fires it to Homick, incomplete. Defensive coverage provided by Brandon Brown at cornerback, tailing Homick over the middle, and it's incomplete and 4th and 8 for Case. And Dan Vassell will come out to punt this one away. Back deep to return is Brandon Brown. Brandon Brown out of Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. Played his high school football at Covington Catholic High School.
Just across the river from Cincinnati.
Football marked at the 38-yard line. They come after the kick. Vassell is knocked down. This will be a roughing the kicker, or at least running into the kicker. The football rolls down to the 25-yard line of the Bears, but the flag comes out. And it will be a roughing the kicker penalty. In Case will get a 1st down, and the first break of the afternoon goes to the Spartans.
Well, Vassell was a little slow getting the ball away, and the pocket collapsed around him. It looked like the Case front 7 or so took off down the field to pursue the kick. Vassell was closed in and got knocked down pretty hard when he got the ball away. But give Case the football, they'll get it out near midfield, Dave.
They will mark the football in Washington territory at the 47-yard line. So the 15-yard walk-off, and Case will take over 1st and 10. So rather than punting it away, the drive continues. 13:28 to go in the first quarter. Very light, freezing rain falling here at Case Field. Joey Baum hands it to Trevor LaBarge, and he rumbles through the line right between the hash marks, dives across the 40, and is marked down at the 39-yard line of WashU.
Well, you're going to have a good matchup up front between Marcus Kluzinski at left tackle and then John Schneider, the captain, senior captain for WashU on the defense. He's at right defensive end. Two of them are going to butt heads all afternoon, and it was off that seal block that LaBarge picked up 8 yards.
They'll give it to LaBarge again, straight up the middle, still on his feet, across the 30 to the 25 and down to the 20-yard line before he is finally wrestled down by Scott O'Brien, a terrific freshman defensive back out of Greenwood, Indiana. But LaBarge peels off 19 yards and another 1st down for Case, and the Spartans will have it 1st and 10.
And 3 new defensive linemen in the football game for WashU with full reserves in.
Tough conditions here at Case. The rain, sleet mix continues to fall now much harder. They swing it out to Homick, cuts his way up to the 15-yard line, is hit from behind, and rolls down to the 11-yard line. 10-yard pass to Zach Homick.
We'll see Homick there wait on that block from Sean Nicely. Caught the ball, didn't head upfield right away. He paused just enough, nicely with a nice kick-out block, and off that block, upfield went Homick for 9 yards.
Second down and 1. They will give it to Labarge. He gets the first down as he gets down close to the 9. It's a 3-yard run for Trevor Labarge, the fullback. And the Spartans will have it now, first and goal from the 9-yard line. Zach Homick, by the way, last week at Chicago set the new Case single-season record for receptions. Is now, with his one catch today, he has 73 on the season. He is closing in on some other records, which we'll share with you today as we get the opportunity. Homick will line up wide left. Nicely is in the slot. Webster is on the left side as well. They will hand it to Derek Bush. Following his blockers, gets down close to the 5-yard line. And Derek Bush's first carry of the day goes for 4. He's averaging just under 4 yards a carry.
Well, Case right there went to the weak side of the formation. Had Bryce Coleman lined up on the right as the tight end. And WashU instinctively created an extra hole on that strong side by lining their defensive tackle outside of Bryce Coleman. They've done it again. There's 2 full player widths off the left side.
They will hand this one to Bush. He runs straight up the middle, though. He did not catch that hole that time, and he is tackled, maybe picked up a yard. And Case is now looking at a 3rd and goal inside the 5. And they will mark the football at the 4. No score first quarter, 11 minutes to go here in the opening quarter on a very cold and rainy, wet afternoon here at Case Field. 3rd down and goal from the 4. Labarge is in. Baum in the shotgun. 3 receiver set. They will give it to Labarge, and he is hit and knocked back. First one to make contact with Labarge was Kyle Huber, the senior linebacker out of O'Fallon, Missouri, near St. Louis. And it's 4th and 4 from the 4-yard line. And Sam Coffey will come out and try and put 3 on the board early.
Basically an extra point, Dave, except it's from the right hash.
And they will spot it at the 11 when Zach Scott holds it. So a 21-yard field goal attempt for Coffey. There's the snap from English. Scott with the hold. Coffey with the kick, and it is good. Sam Coffey gives the Spartans a 3-0 lead with 10:08 to play here in the opening quarter at Case Field. Sam Coffey's 6th field goal of the year. He's now 6 for 12. And the Spartans do come away with points. And the big play on that drive was the roughing the punter penalty against WashU, which allowed Case to keep the drive alive.
And you couple it with the fact that on that drive, between the roughing and the kicker call, the first set of downs Case had, and then the second set, they only threw the ball 3 times, but ran it 6 times. So Craig Debelak talked about that in the pregame report. He was interested in running the football against WashU, 2-1 on that drive.
Trevor Labarge, 3 carries, 28 yards on the drive. Zach Homick had that 1 catch for 10. So Case ready to kick off. 10:08 to play in the first quarter. Coming up at halftime today, we'll hear from Sean McDonald, the men's basketball coach at Case Western Reserve University. We'll get a preview of the men's basketball season upcoming. We'll also chat with Sean Nicely, the senior receiver out of Willoughby South. There's the kickoff from Coffey. It's taken at the 10. Returned out to the 20, 25, out to the 27, 28-yard line. And finally, that's where the return is stopped. John Hageman bringing it back. And the Spartans have the Bears pinned back behind the 30-yard line. Actually, they will mark the football on the 30, so 70 yards ahead for WashU with just under 10 to play in the first quarter.
Well, and that sleet, Dave, has now turned more to a heavy snow. You can see it.
Certainly our viewers on our webcast can see how that is affecting the game. Our listeners on Stretch Internet can hear it in our crowd mic, I'm sure, as the sleet continues to hit the metal bleachers below, the track around Case Field, and the artificial turf itself now starting to turn a very light shade of white. Larry Kinebaum, the longtime coach at WashU, over there, though, in his traditional shirt and tie with his ball cap. Quarterback is Steven Sherman. They will hand this one up the middle to Jim O'Brien, who had a nice performance last week in an overtime win against Carnegie Mellon. And O'Brien straight up the middle runs for 8 before being tripped up at the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 2. Sherman in the shotgun takes the snap. O'Brien again will not get anywhere this time as Michael Harris wraps him up. Harris comes in and blows that play up, grabbing O'Brien around the waist, wrestling him to the ground. It'll be 3rd down and 5 from the 40. They started the drive on the 35-yard line, but I could have sworn that the return ended at the 30, but they did call a penalty. Face mask penalty was called against Case. 3rd down and 5 from the 40-yard line. They toss it out. It's caught. First pass of the day goes to Easton Knott. Wide receiver on the right side who makes the catch for 1st down yardage and ends up stepping out of bounds out at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, WashU.
WashU needed 5 yards on the play. The Case defenders were giving 7 and 8 off the ball, and Knott just ran a stop pattern, went down the field, stopped, turned around, and Sherman connected.
Not with his 9th reception of the year. O'Brien again with the carry. Gets out close to the 50-yard line. Might have picked up 1 here. Long 2nd down coming up for WashU. Their quarterback is Steven Sherman. 53.7% completion rate this year. He has thrown for 1,273 yards. 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Averaging just under 160 yards per game passing.
Well, a different formation, too, Dave. It's not a true shotgun, and he's not quite under center either.
Sherman waits on the snap and has it. Short drop, looks downfield, fires it middle of the field. It's caught. Threaded the needle perfectly there in that Case zone coverage, and he connects to Austin Mormon, who makes the grab, holds on, stumbles down at the 24-yard line. That's a 25-yard pickup and another 1st down for WashU.
Yeah, over the hands of Firamonte and in front of Dan Calabrese, and Mormon found that seam. And Sherman hit him in stride with a big pickup.
Mormon's 16th catch of the year. He goes over the 200-yard mark receiving with that catch. And it's 1st and 10 from the Case 24. 3-0 Case, 7:42 to go in the first quarter. They'll go back and fake a handoff to O'Brien, and now Sherman's in trouble, and he goes down. The sack recorded by Jacob Adams, the junior out of Cincinnati, as he records the sack for the Spartans. Jacob Adams with sack number 2 on the season.
Well, Adams came off the far side, the left side of that defensive front, and because Sasala also blitzed, that forced O'Brien to step up and take Sasala in the middle, and Adams, as soon as he beat the tight end on the far side of the field, had a clean shot at Sherman.
7:08 to go, first quarter, 3-0 Case. 2nd down and 20. The football marked at the 34-yard line. They snap it back. They hand it off to Jim O'Brien straight up the middle. O'Brien finally wrestled down by Jake Adams. Also had some help from Lucas Sasala on the play. He gets to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 2, and it's 3rd down and 18 now for the Bears. After that big completion to Mormon, the sack has really taken the air out of the sails of the drive.
And you notice there, O'Brien tried to get some footing on this field. It's the slush is beginning to accumulate in the grass or in the blades of the artificial turf, and he's not sure of his footing right now.
Sherman calls out the signals, takes the snap, drops back. Now he's flushed out. They will go to O'Brien on a screen pass, and it's incomplete. Well, O'Brien had some running room in front, but the pass overthrown, and it's 4th down and 18 from the 32-yard line. Looking at a 49-yard field goal attempt here if they elected to try it.
Well, Schallafer has a 48-yarder earlier this season. He's 9 of 16, so WashU not afraid to take the shots on the field goal attempts. 16 attempts so far this season.
Right now it looks as though Sherman will stay out there. And when he does set up in the shotgun, Ed, it is a little unorthodox. It looks like he's preparing to start a race. He has his right leg forward, his left leg back, almost as if he's waiting on the starting gun. And now a whistle and a flag comes out. It's a delay of game as they took the 5-yard penalty. And they will back it up here to the 37-yard line. And they will punt this one away. And Austin Moorman will try and angle it and pin Case back deep. 3-0 Spartans, 6:10 to go here in the opening quarter at Case Field.
But Case declined the penalty, so in the end it didn't really matter.
Case declines, and so the line of scrimmage will remain at the 32-yard line. Moorman will still try and kick it. Moorman sets up at his own, at the Case 45, and he punts this one, and it will bounce at the 10, and it will be downed inside the 5 by WashU. It was not a high kick at all, but some great coverage there by WashU as they got to the ball. It bounced at the 10, and it's down at the 1-yard line. Nicely done by the Bears. Austin Moorman with a nice bounce from the 10, and Case has 99 yards in front as this football is resting between the 1 and the goal line.
You see the players coming out, Dave. They all kicking the slush out of their cleats.
Joey Baum calling out the signals. He has LaBarge behind him. 2 receivers in the game. Homick and Nicely split on each side. They'll hand it to LaBarge, and he gets some little room to work with. They never bring him down. He's still up at about the 4-yard line, maybe to the 5. And Case will be looking at a 2nd down and 5. Football be resting at the 5-yard line. They'll call it 2nd down and 6 for the Spartans. They will line up again. Clock continues to move. 5:30 to play here in the first quarter. Joey Baum looks over to the sidelines. Derek Slesh is the offensive coordinator for Case. Dave DiCarlo is the quarterback's coach. Joey drops the football, picks it back up, wings it out to the far side, and it's incomplete. Metalsitz was in the area. Baum dropped that ball. It might have been slick down there, Ed, and he wisely got rid of it.
Yeah, it was just a survival throw. Intent was just to get it towards the line of scrimmage, out of bounds. Nobody have a chance to catch it and live to play on 3rd down. Not make a mistake inside your own 5-yard line.
Third down and 6 from the 5. Joey Baum again sets up in his own end zone. Rolls back to throw to his right. Now he finds Homick, makes the catch out at the 12-yard line, and the ball comes loose, and it looks as if WashU has recovered. A fumble by the Spartans as that came out of the hands of Zach Homick. It was recovered by the Bears. They have it at the 15-yard line. What looked to be a Case first down after the reception goes for naught. It's the first turnover of the game against the Spartans.
I thought Homick caught the ball on the ground, which would have instantly ended the play. But apparently they're going to say he was up, and when he looked to get the extra yardage, fumbled the ball.
WashU comes out 1st and 10 from the Case 15-yard line. Golden opportunity here for the Bears. Sherman calls out the signals. Man in motion. That's Tom Goulias, left to right. They're looking for Goulias, and the ball is overthrown, tipped by Goulias, and almost picked off by the Spartans. Yeah. That ball goes out of bounds untouched, but very close to being picked off by James Wodeka.
Yeah, Wodeka had 90 yards of green and no white shirts in front of him. It was 6 the other way had Goulias not gotten his hand on the football.
5:01 to play, first quarter. David Wilson along with Ed Doherty here at the Village at 1:15. On the Case campus. Case Field surrounded by the red brick dormitories of Case Western Reserve University. Right now, WashU in Case territory. They go to O'Brien, cuts his way up the middle. This will go for a touchdown. Untouched, Jim O'Brien sprints into the end zone. His 6th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Bears jump on top by a score of 6-3.
Well, and O'Brien rubbed off the side of the official, the umpire in the middle, and Haas had a beat on him. And Haas went shoulder into the back of the official and was not able to get to O'Brien as the umpire ran a little bit of interference for O'Brien's 15-yard touchdown run.
They will set up for the extra point. Eric Chalifour will kick this one. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good as well. 7-3, WashU. 4:56 to play here in the opening quarter at Case Field. We'll be back with more first quarter action in just a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. In reserve and WashU today from Case Field, 7-3. The Bears leading it here in the first quarter, 4:56 to play. So the Bears quickly take advantage of the turnover as Case has given it up on a fumble. Austin Moorman will prepare for the kickoff. The freezing rain has subsided. Right now not falling, but still bitterly cold here today at Case Field. Our game time temperature was 34 degrees. Here is the kick. Metalsitz will field this one at the 13-yard line. Out to the 20, 25, 30, spins out to the 35, and he's wrapped up there and wrestled down by the Bears. And on the tackle for WashU was Chris Labarge, the junior. 4:48 to play. We're in the first quarter here at Case Field. Joey Baum and company back out. Trevor Labarge will set up on the right of Joey Baum. Webster and Homick on the right. Labarge will get the first carry, and he rumbles out to the 40-yard line. A 4-yard pickup for Trevor Labarge.
Kyle Huber collapsed down at the outside linebacker position as Tony Opperman's replacement, Jake Abbott, not able to get out there and chip him. Huber was able to step in the hole and bring Labarge down.
Matt Yanasco has come off the field. William Kakish now in at right guard on this play. Here's the snap. Back to Baum, rolls out. They go to Lajeunesse, the tight end, makes the catch out across the 45, and he is knocked out of bounds right at midfield. That is a 10-yard pickup to the tight end. Rob Lajeunesse out of Aurora High School. The Greenmen went down in playoff action last night.
Yeah, they went on the road and lost. And back-to-back losses for the Greenmen. They lost in Week 10 to Kenston and then lose in Week 11.
I believe they were beaten by Ashland. Is that right? Or
yes, they went down to Ashland, team that likes to throw the football around.
They'll go to Bill Deitman here on 1st and 10. Deitman with a nice run, gets out across the 45-yard line. Pickup of 5, maybe 6 for Bill Deitman. And the Spartans will have a second down and less than 5 to go. 3:36 to go in the first quarter. Deitman will stay in with Labarge here. They'll set up in a power I. Webster out wide left, nicely in the slot. Homick is the lone man on the right. He has one-on-one coverage right now with Brandon Brown. Here is the snap. They fake the handoff. Looking for Homick down the sideline. He's covered. Now they go to Nicely. He's wide open. Makes the catch down at the 16-yard line. Sean Nicely hauls it in for big yardage, and it's a first down for Case.
Well, Homick became an ineligible receiver on that play. He got outside the numbers and got forced out of bounds, so the only option for Joey Baum on that play was to go to Nicely as Homick was stepped out of bounds halfway through his pattern.
Nicely makes the catch. That one goes for 31 yards. Deitman is the lone setback right now. 1st and 10 from the 14. Deitman gets the handoff straight up the middle, is hit and knocked down. Might have gotten a yard. First contact for WashU on the play was Nick Hilliard, the junior linebacker out of Hoffman Estates, Illinois. 2:40 to play, first quarter, 7-3 WashU. Jim O'Brien's 6th touchdown of the season has given WashU the early lead in this game. Case had a field goal earlier from Sam Coffey. Baum under center takes the snap. 2nd and 9 from the 13 to the end zone for Holmick. Leaps up, he makes the catch. Touchdown, Spartans. Zach Holmick goes over Brandon Brown, hauls in the touchdown, and it's 9-7.
Holmick 6'2", Brown is 5'10". And Brown got twisted around a little bit, put his head down, and Holmick was able to go up and over for the catch and the touchdown.
Touchdown number 10 on the season for Zach Holmick. That one goes for 13 yards and a score. Scott will hold the extra point. Here is the snap, the hold, the kick by Sam Coffey. It is up and it is good. And the Spartans jump back on top by a score of 10-7. Back with more first quarter action in just a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. 2:19 to play. First quarter, Case now leading WashU by a score of 10-7 after the Zach Holmick touchdown reception. Zach Holmick holds the school record, actually tied with a couple of others with 12 touchdown receptions last year for TDs in a season. He is now 2 away from tying that mark and 3 away from setting a new record. Coffey with the kickoff. End over end kick. Drifts back to the 10-yard line. Returned out to the 20, 25, 30, and out to the 32-yard line before they're able to bring down Michael McGovern. McGovern, the freshman out of Sunnyvale, California.
Well, Holmick now has 25 career touchdowns. Sean Nicely has 30 in his career.
Nicely is 1 away from tying the school record for career touchdowns, held by David Kalavig with 31. So both Nicely and Holmick with great shots to surpass that mark.
Especially if Case gets a Week 11 game.
10-7 Case. Here is the Bears offense. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. They will keep it on the ground. The handoff on the left side. Now reversing directions. Goulias carrying it on a wide receiver handoff all the way back to the far side of the field, across the 40 to the 45 and out of bounds for first down yardage out near the 47-yard line.
I think that was Sherman that threw the block on the backside as Goulias reversed his field. Wodeka had a beat on him, and Sherman, the quarterback, stuck his shoulder in there and knocked Wodeka off his path and allowed Goulias to pick up another 15 yards or so.
And that one ends up going for 14, but I think he ran about 40 yards to get it once he reversed direction and went back to the other side of the field. 1st and 10 from the 47. Sherman to throw it. Catch is made on the left side by Drew Sexton. He is knocked down and tackled. Mike Firamonte in there on the stop for Case. That's the football marked at midfield.
A dangerous throw for a quarterback that doesn't have a cannon for an arm. You're going from one hash mark to the opposite numbers, and you're only picking up 3 yards. That's a lateral pass and allows the defense the opportunity to step in.
They will hand this one to Jim O'Brien straight up the middle, puts his head down and is tripped up and lands down at the 45-yard line, a pickup of 5. And it'll be 3rd down and 2 for WashU with under a minute to play now here in the first quarter, and the Spartans leading it by a score of 10-7.
Very active first quarter.
Right now, the rain's still coming down, not quite as hard as it was earlier. It is very cold today here at Case Field, 34 degrees at game time.
Well, WashU had 2 tight ends in the football game. They've now gone with 1 tight end, and the H-back Sam Kenter is now in.
Easton Knott is the lone man on the left side at receiver. Back to throw Sherman. Now he ends up handing it off to Jim O'Brien, who runs straight up the middle and gets first down yardage. A flag comes out, holding penalty against WashU. Sherman sold the fake, but they gave it to O'Brien. He got the first down yardage, but this one will come back. So Case will take the penalty. It'll be third down. And they will mark it off from the line of scrimmage, which was the 45. We'll be looking at a third down and about 12. 21 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
I believe they called that on Jake Lewis, the junior right tackle.
Third down and 12. Clock winds now. Less than 20 to play in the first quarter. 10-7 Case. Sherman calls out the signals. Takes the snap. Drops back to throw. Looking deep downfield. Sexton is there, and it's incomplete. Jumping up to get a hand on that ball for Case was Zach Haas on the defensive coverage. And a couple of other Spartans closing in there quickly as well. It's fourth down and 12 with 8 seconds left in the quarter. And WashU will have to punt this one away. Well, Sherman took a shot downfield. Haas there to knock it away. And now Calabrese will set up to receive the punt from Austin Moorman. Here is the snap. He will get the punt away. Nice kick. Calabrese will make the catch, and he is quickly tackled by Gulius down by the 20-yard line. .35-yard kick, only a couple of yards on the return. And that's the end of the first quarter. Case holds a 10-7 lead. Second quarter action is coming up next here on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of Case Western Reserve football. David Wilson along with Ed Doherty here at Case Field as we head into the second quarter. 10-7, Spartans leading it by 3. Zach Homick with a touchdown and Sam Coffey with a field goal on the Case side. Jim O'Brien had a 9-yard touchdown run for WashU. Case 0-1 in the conference season so far. Washington University is 1-0. Baum to throw it, looking for Middlesitz, incomplete.
Well, the Case front five did a nice job picking up the blitz. Ball was just delivered low to Middlesitz. Couldn't go down and get it. One note from the sideline, Michael Fioramonte is getting his right hand looked at, Dave. He's down there getting it taped. It looks like he has a big cut right around the knuckles. He probably got it caught in among the face masks of an opponent. And with that, the 3 trainers working to clear up Fioramonte's right hand.
Second down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Snap goes back to Baum. He's running it on the left side. Is knocked out of bounds out near the 20-yard line. Might have lost a yard here as he was hit as he stepped out of bounds. Some of the Spartans were looking for a possible flag there, but nothing terribly vicious there. Just a little bump at the end of the play. He stepped out of bounds at the 19, so a 2-yard loss.
It was designed to be an inside option pitch, and the pitch wasn't there, so Baum rightly held it looking for a corner. Wasn't able to turn the corner, and Case ended up losing a couple of yards.
14:40 to go, second quarter. 10-7 Case. Spartans operating in their own territory at the 19-yard line. Third down and 12. 3 receivers on the right, Homick on the left. Baum back to throw it. He is going to go down. Pocket breaks down. He is knocked down. It's a sack recorded by WashU, and it's fourth down and long for Case.
William Small, the inside defensive tackle, will get credit for the knockdown. But it was really the pocket collapsed, and Baum wanted to throw the ball deep. Case did a nice job. They picked up the blitz, came off the corner. Ed Ferguson, the outside linebacker, was coming for WashU. Case did a nice job of shifting down on the line, and Baum just not able to get rid of the football.
14 minutes to play in the second quarter. Vassell has to handle a low snap, gets the kick away. Nice spiraling kick, and it takes a decent Case bounce. That actually bounced off a Wash University player, and it's recovered by the Spartans. Calabrese came up with it after it bounced up against Marcus Shelby, the junior from Simi Valley, California. Shelby did not see it coming. It bounced off his leg. Calabrese jumped on it, and the Spartans catch another break as they will have the ball at the 44-yard line. Earlier it was a roughing the kicker call. Now the Spartans recover. Baum back on the field, hands it to Trevor Labarge, straight up the middle. Labarge gets out to midfield.
And you got to remember that WashU capitalized on a Case turnover, put their 7 points on the board after a fumble inside the 20-yard line.
Freezing rain is back now. 13:30 to play. It was coming down very hard earlier. Not quite as bad right now, but still a miserable day weather-wise here at Case Field. Labarge straight up the middle. This is his kind of a game as he goes rumbling for first down yardage out to the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 9.
And Tate Byers threw his body in front of Labarge, just trying to get him down and try to bury himself low. And as Labarge hopped over the top of him, he managed to trip him up. But another almost 10 more yards for Labarge. That's just huge chunks for this Case offense on the ground now.
13:02 to play, second quarter, 10-7 Case. Spartans have the ball. The snap goes right through the hands of Joey Baum. He picks it up. He will try and get rid of it, fires it out of bounds to avoid the sack. He still takes a lick in the backfield, delivered by Ed Ferguson, but he got the pass away. It's incomplete, second down and 10.
And amazingly, Sean Nicely was out in the area. This wasn't just a true, I'm out of the pocket, let me get the ball back to the line of scrimmage and throw it away. Nicely was there at the 35-yard line. Ball was a duck that went out there, but overall, Baum even found a receiver under pressure.
12:50 to play.
Opperman to the sideline. Kakish back in at right tackle or right guard.
The snap goes back to Baum. They throw it to Middlesitz, juggles it, holds on, and is tackled again right there. Ed Ferguson on the tackle, but that one goes for negative yardage on the quick pass to Brian Middlesitz. Third down and 12 for Case. They need to get out to the 31-yard line for a first down. Webster comes in. Coleman, the tight end, goes out. Case will get a 4-receiver set in. Labarge stays in the game. Holmick and Middlesitz on the left. Webster and Nicely on the right.
5 defensive backs for WashU in the ballgame.
Baum will work from the 43-yard line. 3rd and 11 in the shotgun. Drops back to throw. Stays in the pocket. Now it breaks down, and he'll go down. Baum is hit and tackled. Sack recorded by Nick Hilliard, the junior.
It's another coverage sack for WashU. Again, can't give that offensive line enough credit there. WashU brought 2 linebackers plus the 3 down linemen. Case only had 5, so it was 5-on-5, and Baum had 4 full seconds in the pocket to find somebody. Simply could not locate an open man down the field as he went through his checkdowns and suffered the sack because of it.
4th down and 16. The Spartans lost 5 on the sack. Line of scrimmage is the 48. Vassell gets the snap. They come after it. He gets the punt away. It'll be taken down at the 18-yard line. No fair catch called by Brandon Brown, and he is wiped out down there. Kerry Dieter got in there first to take out the receiver, and the football will be marked at the 18-yard line. No return for WashU, and the Spartans will come out defensively guarding a 3-point lead.
You know, one note, we haven't talked about this front four for Case today. Looking at the stats before the game, Doolin and English, Dave, are in the top 20 nationally in sacks. So Case has 2 of the top 20 sackers in the country playing on that front four.
Dale English has 8. Rich Doolin 7.5 on the season. Jim O'Brien gets the handoff, tries to cut it up the middle. He is cut down by Wodeka as he crosses the 20. 3-yard pickup for Jim O'Brien. 11:08 to play here in the opening half. We're in the second quarter. 2nd down and 7 from the 21-yard line. We do want to welcome all of the WashU fans tuned into our broadcast today. I don't believe they have a local broadcast here today. So we appreciate you tuning in. And hope you're enjoying our coverage of the ball game. Hope it's dry and warm where you are listening. Sherman calls out the signals. Takes the snap, fakes a handoff, swings it out, catch is made at the 20-yard line, but a quick tackle as Easton Knott makes the catch, but he is unable to turn it upfield. 3rd down and 7. That one goes for no gain. 3rd and 7 from the 21-yard line. 10-7 Case. UAA play today. The Bears won in overtime last week against Carnegie Mellon. Chicago knocked off Case in a stunner at Stagg Field on a last-minute touchdown by Drew Brizzolera. Sherman takes the snap in the shotgun, fires it, middle of the field. Pass was caught initially and then dropped by the tight end, Phil Stecker.
Sherman had no grip on that football, Dave. You noticed it was almost like he just pushed it out there. He didn't even throw the football. Didn't look like he had his hand or around the ball the way he wanted it, or it was coming loose, and more or less just shot-putted the ball out towards Stecker as opposed to throwing it.
You know, on a day like this, it appears that the ball is much bigger. They just cannot quite get the handle on it. It looks like they're throwing a basketball out there. Austin Moorman will punt this one away. He takes the snap. He will get it away. End-over-end kick. Calabrese will catch it at the 45-yard line. Starts it upfield. Tries to turn the corner. Gets to the 50. Out close to the 46-yard line before he is wrestled down and knocked out of bounds. 9:39 to go in the second quarter. 10-7 Case leading it by 3. An absolutely soaking wet offensive unit will come back out. Ditto for the defense.
Well, you look at that the Case jerseys, Dave, and they're a lot darker right now than they were when they started. It looked like they've been through the wash already.
Joey Baum in the shotgun. Coleman is in at tight end on the left side. 3 receivers set. They'll hand it to LaBarge. He is hit and knocked back right at the line of scrimmage. First one to get in there on the defensive pressure for WashU was Greg Larson, the Madison, Wisconsin native. Larson, the defensive end, and boy, he stuck LaBarge there for no gain. 2nd down and 10.
That's a very active front four for WashU, much like we saw last week in Chicago. They stunt, and they will put pressure on the quarterback.
Baum rolls out, fires it to Nicely, wide open at the 30-yard line. He's upended, and he goes down at the 25-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards to the senior, Sean Nicely.
Nicely cut his pattern off, found a hole in that cover 2, and sat down just outside the 30-yard line, and that's where Baum located him for the pickup of 20 yards.
Under 9 to play, second quarter, 10-7 Case. Operating in WashU territory now, 1st and 10 at the 25. LaBarge gets the handoff. LaBarge is hit and again driven backward. This time, nice defensive coverage by Kyle Larkin. Larkin, the junior outside linebacker, and he wrestles LaBarge down.
Homick not in the football game. Check that, Repko in nicely not in the ball game. Colin Repko has taken his place in the slot.
They'll have 3 receivers on that side as Deitman checks in now. Coleman is in at tight end, but 3 receivers on the right side. Webster, Repko, and Homick. Baum hands it off to Deitman. He's caught behind the line of scrimmage and thrown down. Tackle recorded by Nate Kempima, the junior out of Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. 8:06 to play, and the clock continues to move. And Case looking now at a 3rd and 12 after a 3-yard loss.
More freezing rain picking up.
Baum looking for a big 3rd down conversion here. Metal sits in nicely on the left. Webster and Homick on the right. They have not thrown to Webster yet today. Baum back to throw. Looking downfield. The pass intended for Nicely. Incomplete. Almost uncatchable right down near the turf. On the defensive coverage was Scott O'Brien, the freshman.
Well, into double coverage, they threw the football. And again, WashU, we talked about the activity of that front 7. They brought the blitz again. Last week we saw Baum was uncomfortable in the pocket with the active front of Chicago, and there Baum not able to locate a receiver because of the blitz of WashU.
Case will try a 44-yard field goal. English will snap it. Scott will hold it at the 34. Coffee on to try it. Here is the snap. The hold, the kick by Coffey on the way, and the kick is perfect. 44-yard field goal for Sam Coffey. As the Spartans put 3 more on the board, they lead it 13-7. Coffey's longest of the season.
Now
13-7.
And just short of his career long, which I believe is 45.
Sam Coffey kicked that one like it was 75 and sunny.
And today that ball gets rock hard as well, and he got a nice leg into it, end over end.
Coffey kicked a career-high 45-yard field goal against Washington University during the 2008 season.
That was out at WashU.
As a bitterly cold day then as well. .7:33 to go here in the first half. 13-7 Case now after Coffey's second field goal of the afternoon. Joey Baum is 8 of 13, 96 yards. Steve Sherman 4 of 8, 39 yards. Here is a high end-over-end kick. It'll be taken by Michael McGovern at the 14-yard line. McGovern across the 25 out near the 30-yard line. He is tackled right there, and that's where WashU will take over with 7:27 to play here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, Jake Adams stayed at home, stayed in his lane, and dropped McGovern at the 30-yard line.
Trevor LaBarge now on the day, 10 carries, 52 yards for the Spartans.
This is a WashU offense. Despite being 6-2 on the season, offensively they're ranked 164th in the country in terms of yards per game. The Case defense is 42nd, giving up just over 280 yards a game.
Matt Davis is in at cornerback for Case. They will flip the football back. It'll be carried by Jim O'Brien. And O'Brien over the left side dives out close to the 33-yard line and picks up 3. Second down and 7 for Washington University. Football at the 33-yard line. Sherman sets up in the shotgun. O'Brien is the lone setback. 2 receivers on the right. Rolling left, Sherman throws, catches bobbled and then brought in, and it's complete for a first down as he hooks up with Brennan Fox. Fox with his first catch of the day. He's the junior tight end out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Brennan Fox, his 8th catch of the season, and just did secure that ball before he rolled out of bounds. Another 3 receiver set. Sherman takes the snap. O'Brien gets the carry. Fakes his way to the outside. Gets to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 2. Kerry Dieter came in along with Calabrese on defensive coverage for the Spartans with 6:12 to play now in the second quarter. Case up by 6, 13-7. Sam Coffey has kicked a 44-yard field goal. Here is the snap. The toss by Sherman is going to be almost picked off by Matt Davis. He was looking downfield for Drew Sexton. Davis got his hands on the football as they threw it over the middle of the field, and he could not quite hang on. It's incomplete. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, with that, Sexton became the defensive back and took it away from Davis as he got both hands around the football. Kevin Nossum is now in the football game, Dave. He's checked in at linebacker.
Case and WashU today playing for the 25th time. WashU leads the all-time series 16-8. Here's the snap to Sherman on 3rd down. Dumps it off. Catch is made by O'Brien. Wants to turn it upfield. He is close to the first down. Looks like he has it before the Spartans can finally get to him and bring him down. Firamonte finally recorded the tackle, but it's a first down on the screen pass to Jim O'Brien.
Case had it defended well. They just couldn't work through the wash of the of the front five for Washington University. They stopped on the screen pass. They recognized it right away and just not able to circumvent all the players in the middle of the field.
1st and 10 from the Case 46-yard line for WashU. Sherman calls out the signals, takes the snap, wants to throw it, does so. Catch is made. A hit applied by Firamonte. Complete on the short route. Catch was hauled in by Dan Grimm, the junior out of Canton, Illinois. Football marked at the 41-yard line. They pick up 5 on the play.
Yeah, Grimm and Goulas are the two captains on offense for the WashU Bears.
Firamonte with a strong hit on that play, but Grimm held onto the football. O'Brien gets the carry on 2nd and 5. He goes nowhere, straight up the middle, and he was hit and knocked backward.
And Mike Harris there. Rich Doolin there.
Wade Self also in at linebacker was helping on the defensive coverage there. They read that one well, Ed.
James Wodeka is on the sideline. Looked like he's having some issues with his contact lenses. Cleaning out his contacts. So Wodeka out of the football game while he works on his contacts.
And Davis is in at corner. Dieter is in at corner. Haas and Calabrese are at safety right now. Fierro Monte will drop back in defensive coverage as well.
And he'll play that hybrid.
Self stays in at middle linebacker. And now Sherman sets up in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. They will go back and hand it to O'Brien on 3rd down. Powering his way forward. He's close to the 1st down marker. Jim O'Brien might be slightly short here, as it looks like the outside linesman will mark it closer to the 37-yard line. And they will ask for a measurement here. But from our angle, Ed, it looks like he's short.
He's short by almost a full yard from where they marked the football. He needed to get inside the 36. The ball is just inside the 37.
So they will bring out the chains and take a look at it. Jim O'Brien is just 5'9", 180 out of Wheaton, Illinois, but he is a powerful runner. Carried a couple of Spartans with him there, but they finally wrestled him down. He'll be slightly short of the 1st down.
O'Brien's a 3-year starter, Dave. We've seen him play all 4 years, in fact.
Usually you see the official motion just a few inches short. This time he held his arms as far as he could apart. But they did take a look at it, so it's a yard short. 4th down and 1 from the 37-yard line.
They might have been able to tell he was short from the Euclid Tavern.
They're still trying to mark that football. They're taking great care here to make sure it's spotted properly. And they will go for it here. 4th down and 1 from the Case 37-yard line. 3:57 to go in the 2nd quarter. Case on top by a score of 13-7 here at Case Field on a chilly and wet afternoon in Cleveland, Ohio.
Case with 5 down linemen in the formation.
They will take the ball and flip it back. It'll be carried up the middle for 1st down yardage. Getting the call was Chris Castelluccio, who gets him 1st down yardage. He rumbles ahead and picks up about 4. He gets down to the 32-yard line. Castelluccio on the season over close to 200 yards rushing. Castelluccio averaging 3.5 yards a carry and has 4 touchdowns. So in those short yardage situations, he is the man they bring in.
Case is going to stay with the 5 down linemen, a nose tackle, 2 tackles, and 2 ends.
They will go back to throw. Sherman, middle of the field, has a man open. It's incomplete, though. He overshot Brennan Fox, who had a step on the Case defense.
Here comes James Wodeka back in the ballgame. He's jumping up to the sideline. Looks like he's fixed his contact lens issue.
Davis will come out. Wodeka comes back out onto the field. 3:25 to go. Coming up at halftime, we'll hear from Sean McDonald and Sean Nicely. That will be our halftime guests. 13-7 Case. They will hand this one to O'Brien. Cuts it up the left side. in between the hash marks and lands at the 25-yard line after a pickup of 7. They will mark it back, I think, on the 26. So he gets 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 for WashU. Still operating in Case territory. 2 field goals today for Sam Coffey on this wet afternoon in Cleveland.
Nice to see him back in the groove after struggling last week a little bit with some extra points.
Gulius in motion. Sherman takes the snap, looking downfield, still in the pocket, loses the football. It is a free ball. It's on the ground. They dive for it back at the 40-yard line, and it looks like WashU has it.
Well, his Marcus Moncala just hot. His guys tried to pick it up and run with it, both English and Doolin, or Watson. Check that, Adam Watson and Dale English tried to pick it up and run with it, and they got in each other's way, and WashU managed to fall back on the football.
Eventually coming up with it was Jake Lewis, but Sherman lost the football as he was starting to throw it, thought better of it, and then it just slipped out of his hands, and it went bouncing back to the 40-yard line, and a comedy of errors as those linemen were trying to scoop it up and run with it. Here is the punt from Austin Mormon. He will angle it near the sideline. It will bounce at the goal line, and it takes a WashU bounce. It'll be down to inside the 5-yard line.
Well, it's a good thing that defensive coordinator Marcus Moncala is not on the air, because they may lose their license. He is still talking to his defensive front about falling on the football.
Ball was eventually down inside the 5 by Kyle Larkin, and so for the second time today, Case is pinned inside the 5.
Well, WashU still has 3 timeouts here, so Case can't just sit on the football. They're going to have to make an attempt to move it out.
1:47 to go here in the opening half. They will hand this one up the middle, and Trevor Labarge gets out across the 5-yard line. Picked up a couple here. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Clock continues to move, and as Ed mentioned, both teams, including WashU, have their full complement of timeouts.
That's a little odd that you wouldn't take the timeout, and because now Case will just sit on the football and go to the locker room. I guess from a WashU perspective, force Case to continue to run the ball, possibly throw it, maybe get it back, throw one up in the end zone. You have them, you can't carry them over.
Looks like they're going to leave 3 timeouts on the table here, as now they take a timeout.
I think that belongs to Case with the timeout.
Yeah, Case took the timeout. So the play clock went almost to 0. Case took the timeout, and they ran the game clock all the way down to 1:03. Well, the 2010 regular season will wrap up next Saturday afternoon when Case takes on Carnegie Mellon University. That will be a 2 o'clock game here at Case Field. It'll be the Academic Bowl against the Tartans, and we'll have broadcast coverage for you via case.edu and on our affiliate Stretch Internet beginning at 1:45 Eastern Time next Saturday afternoon.
And with Sean McDonald coming up at halftime, I want to talk about the first broadcast for the men's and women's basketball season. That'll be Monday night, November 15th.
That will be against Baldwin Wallace, I believe, right?
For the men, in Washington and Jefferson for the women. 6 o'clock tip.
Derek Bush carries for Case, and now you get a timeout called. This would be taken by WashU. 57 seconds left in the quarter. We're in the second quarter, 13-7. Well, one thing we've noticed today, Ed, Trevor Labarge getting much more involved in the running game for Case. Derek Bush, Bill Deitman have both been battling injuries this year. Deitman an ankle, Bush a hamstring. They have shown great progress at times this year, but earlier this week, Greg Debelak saying Bush's hamstring was really bothering him last week.
Well, and this is the kind of weather where those kinds of injuries just begin to nag. That hamstring will tighten up on you, and that ankle joint will get sore. And both guys will struggle to get going, finding their footing. So Trevor Labarge will be the workhorse for the Spartans.
Joey Baum takes the snap as we get back to action. Rolls out, throws it out of bounds. That one was almost caught by Larry Kinebaum, the head coach of the Bears. He did not make the catch, but it was out of bounds, incomplete. 4th down and 5 for Case, and they will have to kick it away with 51 seconds left.
And WashU's lack of using a timeout actually helps the Case defense. It saves them nearly 35 seconds. Whereas WashU would get this ball back with about 1:20 left on the clock. They're going to get it back with about 40 seconds to go.
Brandon Brown is back to receive the kick. He sets up at the Case 45. Vassell is standing in the goalkeeper's box on the soccer markings in his own end zone. Here is the kick, short kick. Spiraling job, and it takes a Case bounce, and it'll go all the way back to midfield onto the WashU side of the field. And out of bounds at the 47-yard line. So 53 yards ahead for WashU, and they will need to cover that in 40 seconds or less. The Case defense forced back out. And here come the Bears, led by Stephen Sherman. Sherman, a senior out of Pasadena, California. 6'1", 200-pounder. So far today, he's 7 of 13 for 62 yards. He'll take the snap, wings it out for Sexton. He makes the catch, a one-handed grab as he goes to the turf across the 50 down at the 49-yard line. But 29 seconds left, he stayed in bounds.
May have been better off dropping the football.
Sexton makes the catch. Sherman takes the snap, wants to wing it out again. Catch is made. This time he connects with Austin Mormon, and again, Mormon right at the numbers, stays in bounds, and a whistle and a timeout taken by WashU with 15 seconds left. The pass was good for a first down all the way to the 41-yard line, but they did use the timeout. 15.3 seconds left, second quarter. 13-7 Case as we approach halftime. Now WashU with one timeout left.
And if you think back, if the Case defense falls on that loose ball, if it's Watson or English that fall on it, even if Case goes 3 and out from that point, from near the 40-yard line, their punt would have tipped the table so far that either Case would have simply run the clock out because WashU wouldn't have used their timeouts, or WashU would have simply gone to the locker room down. So a mistake a series before has really led to the opportunity for WashU to possibly put points up here to end the half.
Case has 5 defensive backs in the game here. First down and 10 from the 41. Sherman in trouble, and he will go down. Adam Watson got to him. Watson, the sophomore out of Mentor High School, records the sack as Sherman goes down with 8 seconds left. They do take their final timeout. It'll be second down and 10 for Washington U. Now they mark it back second down and 11 after the sack recorded by Adam Watson. Watson with his 6th sack of the year. So English with 8, Doolin with 7.5, Watson now with 6.
And all of them are underclassmen who will return next year for Case Western.
8 seconds left on the clock. Jim O'Brien, the lone setback. Set out 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 8 seconds left. They do not have any timeouts left. Incompletion could save them a second or 2 to run another play. So we'll see. The snap goes back to Sherman. Drops back to throw. Dumps it over the middle. O'Brien has it. Breaks a tackle. Gets to the 35-30. Flags come out. And so that will not be the final play. Watson finally recorded the tackle at the 30-yard line.
I believe it'll be against WashU. I think it's a block in the back. Case should decline it, and they'll head to the locker room.
It is a holding call against WashU. It's declined by Case, and that is the end of the first half. 13-7, your halftime score here at Case